scuffling, though, as we mentioned down the stretch, dropping 4 of their last 7. So we are set to go. Clarence Armstrong, Ron Gruber, Jamel Spearman, our officials as we're about to tip it off in the nightcap here inside the Coliseum. Virginia Tech, the 11th seed, NC State, number 6 here in the ACC tournament, and the Hokies win the opening tip.
Greg Gant starting off guarding Grant Basile. That puts a little more athleticism on him.
Couture launches the first 3, but short, and a high rebound tipped and controlled nicely by Smith. He'll launch and hit it. Boy, he was not waiting around.
Well, Terquavion Smith needed that one. His last 2 games, he's been 5 of 25 from the field, just 4 of 14 from 3-point range. So that's a good sign for NC State that Terquavion Smith's getting off to a good start.
That's how the night started for North Carolina against Boston College. Tough move inside for Mutz, and a strike.
DJ Burns having to guard Justin Mutz with Gant on Basile, and that means that I think Mike Young is going to put DJ Burns in as many ball screens as he can to move him around the floor so they can attack him out on the perimeter.
Both of these teams take care of the ball really well. Burns getting in close. DJ Burns, the big grad at 6'9" out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Kevin Keats, 6th year at NC State, to the school's most victories in a regular season since 1987-88. The foul will go against Mutz, number 1.
DJ Burns is a load inside. He's got a great touch and the feet of a ballerina with the way he can move those feet, making moves in the post. He transferred in from Winthrop, where he played for Pat Kelsey, who's now the head coach at Charleston. Just punched their ticket in the NCAA tournament. But he started his career at Tennessee. You know, people think, oh, he's a mid-major player transferred to NC State. No, he started at Tennessee.
Played well down the stretch. Honorable mention, all ACC this season. Padula with a strong move, but no. Smith with a rebound.
A good job by NC State to stay in front to make that a really tough 2 for Sean Padula.
NC State defeating Virginia Tech in their only meeting in Blacksburg, 73-69. But as mentioned, Hunter Couture did not play in that game. He was hurt at the time. Spin by Burns. And you're right, as far as that footwork, he just didn't finish it.
He can spin in the lane, and he's got such a soft touch.
That's with a kick out. Basile gives it up. Couture will drive it. No finish, though.
DJ Burns came over and bothered that shot.
Smith takes a bump, uses the window beautifully. Wanted a foul, too.
He created that contact. That was offense initiated, but you like the aggressiveness of Terquavion Smith to start this game. All ACC second team, as was his teammate Jarkel Joiner.
A lot of big games. 32 against FSU, 25 against Georgia Tech. He gets hot, and he can get rolling. Mutz taking the paint. Blocked by Burns. He was all over him.
Good recovery by DJ Burns. Boy, when he screens, he stays screened for a while.
Joiner getting it inside for the quick strike by Gant. Not a big scorer.
And a great start for North Carolina State, getting the ball down court quickly. If you can score quickly in transition, that's not going to go as a fast break basket, but it was early offense.
Score they can. 78 points a game, number 2 in the conference. Off the fake, Collins got a good look at all net.
AJ Collins with a really nice move there. The shot fake. That's Smith off the floor. And then the little pull-up jumper from the mid-range.
NC State bidding for win number 23. They dropped their last 2 regular season games to Clemson and Duke.
A good double team by Justin Mutz. Off the dribble by DJ Burns. When he spun right into Mutz.
Couture had such a spectacular tournament last year. Mutz, maybe one pass too many. He's a terrific passer, and at times maybe too unselfish, and that will misfire by Smith.
Well, that was a heat check by Terquavion Smith. That was a logo shot. But Smith did a great job, help side defense, knocking that ball away. And NC State wants to get, their number is 40 deflections. If they get 40 deflections, they feel like they've been really active defensively.
NC State with a deflection. Joiner will lay it in.
That's what you cannot do, Dave, against North Carolina State. Padula took the ball, got it knocked away, and then all of a sudden you're watching NC State lay it in on the other end.
It's one thing we should not see a lot of in this game. Both of these teams do an excellent job of taking care of the ball. Collins again, but not this time.
A little bit too early. That was just on one side of the floor. Didn't make the defense move.
Wolfpack only turns it over about 10 times a game. Joiner feeling it and absolutely buried that one to make it 13-4.
Well, this is a confident tandem of guards with Joiner and Smith. There is not a shot they feel like they cannot make.
Now both of them averaging 17 a handful. Basile, yes, and one.
There's the passing. There's the passing at Justin Mutz. Leads them in assists, averaging close to 5 a game. That's 5th in the league as a forward.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times. And Ameriprise Financial, advice worth talking about. Jay Billis, this NC State program, never cased there in the 50s and 1959 ACC tournament champs. A rich history in this tournament.
An incredible tradition and history in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And Tommy Burleson, who played on those great NC State teams with Monty Tao, David Thompson, Tim Stoddard, who went on to fame in the major leagues with the Baltimore Orioles. But Everett Case was really the one that started it all. The tournament used to be played out of Reynolds Coliseum, which I'm sure a lot of coaches in the league weren't too happy with back then.
Well, good start here for the Pack. The kick out here for Joiner. Smith will let fly. Got another one.
You can't even figure out what his range is. As long as he's inside a half court, he can put it up.
As you said, he had been scuffling with that three and only hitting 33% for the season. He's taken over 250 of them, about 8.5 attempts a game, but on fire here early tonight in Greensboro.
Well, Casey Morsell is doing such a good job defensively, switching off, blowing up dribble handoffs and exchanges.
Padula needs that much room to fire and hit. The 6'1" sophomore can also really get rolling beyond that three-point line.
John Padula went to Edmond Memorial High School in Oklahoma. You know who else went there?
Who did?
Bill Self. Bill Self claims to be the best player ever at Edmond Memorial, but I don't necessarily believe that.
Padula's in the photo.
Definitely in the photo.
Shot clock down to 5.
What a pass.
Finding an open man underneath and the dunk. Joanna getting free. And NC State playing free and easy.
Now they are really spreading this Virginia Tech defense out. You have to go out so far to guard Smith and Joiner.
Mutz bodied up and fouled on the play. 13:47 left here in the first half.
What do you say in the scouting report? Close out to Terquavion Smith at 29-30 feet. And then the little screen up top. And then a rescreen in the slot. And Dewana just rolls right to the basket. Nobody able to pick him up. That's why you want to run so much out of the middle of the floor. It's so hard for Help to cover all that. You run it from the side, Help is positioned. You run it from the middle, it's more difficult for Help to recover.
Clark picked up his first foul. Padula will try another. Not this time. Swung inside again, and once again the finish by Dewana.
With the floor so spread, that opens up, and these screens are being set high, and that opens up the roll. There's just a lot of space on the court. The court's 50 feet wide, and right now NC State's using every inch of it.
And they're finding the big, the 6'11" junior. That's going to be a whistle inside.
NC State averages about 13 assists a game, but that wasn't even a screen. It was just a little rub and then a roll to the basket. Those little random screens in transition, kind of an early drag. But sometimes you don't even have to set the screen. You're so worried about the ball that the screener becomes open on the roll.
Poteet at the line. NC State hot. They have made 8 out of 10 to open up a 22-11 lead as Collins hits the bench. And Poteet will get another. And big DJ Burns trying to get back on. We're going to back him off for a moment.
Too bad he doesn't have any personality.
Yeah, he's not having any fun playing the game. It's real drudgery for the 6'9" grad from South Carolina.
When NC State plays a home game, when DJ Burns gets the ball, the crowd starts cheering just when he gets it. Before he does anything, they love him.
He's had some big games against Wake. 31 points, 9 rebounds. Jump shot on the way, and that won't fall, but everything else has been falling early on. They're going to get a second crack as Burns kept the line. Morcell will drive it. He takes the foul, and he'll be at the line.
Rodney Rice just was bending over for that ball. You got to get possession. Possession's more important than position, and it's more important than trying to take it the other way. You got to get the ball first. And Rice was there to get it. He was hurt earlier in the season. But he is a talented offensive player that is going to be really, really good.
Morcell drops in the first. Former Virginia Cavalier. Played 2 years for Tony Bennett at Virginia. And hitting 42% beyond the three-point line. That's the best among the regulars.
And he had 15 points the last time these two teams played. He's such a good defender. You know, the balance of the guards, that trio of guards that NC State has. You know, they can all score. They're pretty good defenders. Morcell, I think, is the best of the three.
Couture doubling back. He'll draw the foul. Held up by Brian Pass there, 6-foot sophomore with #1.
Couture is such a good cutter. Constant motion and his shot preparation. He's ready to shoot it when the ball arrives. That makes him even more dangerous.
Yeah, 43% at the three-point line. A spin by Padula. Can't finish the play. NC State wants to run. Smith quickly gets it to go. What a tough shot, too.
Oh, he probably got hit. It didn't seem to bother Terquavion Smith. Making that first shot. Well, he's seeing a big basket right now, and he is attacking at both ends of the floor.
Quick 10 points for him. And a great early sign here for the Wolfpack. Choppy offensive start here for the Hokies, Jay.
Yeah, they got to start putting some back cuts in.
Couture drags the foot and a travel.
Terquavion Smith averages about 17 points per game. That is third in the league, but gets the block on Sean Padula. And just a rip and run and taking it the other way. Good luck staying in front of Terquavion Smith.
Wants to be a coach, and in the huddle he called for this screening action. He wanted to set up this play that helped them win the game against Notre Dame last night, and Justin Mutz gave him a shout out like, hey, if he doesn't set that screen, we don't win that game. I don't get that dunk. And that's just how smart Hunter Couture is he knew how they were defending him earlier in the game. He brought it up to coach in the huddle, and coach had enough trust in him that they let him run that action, and the result, a game-winning play, a game-winning screen from Hunter Couture.
Well, that's exactly right, Holly. He is a really smart, high IQ basketball player, but that, you know, that could solve this whole employee issue. Just hire the guys as assistant coaches.
Offensive here on Burns. 23-12 NC State. He's also, trying his hand interviewing, working with the press corps and firing off some questions at Mike Young, his head coach. He's had fun with that.
A young fine man like Hunter Couture. It's been the biggest pain in my life I've ever had in my life. Next question.
I love that. The next question.
Well, Hunter Couture is far too smart to be a member of the media.
Senior out of Orlando. Again, missed the first time they played. Mutz got airborne, left it short, followed the miss. Right back up and almost went, but he'll be at the line.
Justin Mutz is a really good rebounder. Started his career at High Point, went to Delaware, and then to Virginia Tech. He's got 2 master's degrees already. And he's the leading rebounder on this team, 8th in the league, just under 8 rebounds a game. But you talk about a respected player around the league that really does everything out there. Great passer, outstanding defender.
Yeah, look at all the degrees. I asked him about a month ago, I said, are you going for the doctorate? Is that in your future? And he said, well, I'm not thinking about it right now, but maybe down the line when I'm done playing ball.
Well, Scholar Athlete of the Year. You don't get all those in 1 year. He's had to work a lot longer than that.
Mutz at the stripe, drops it in. He makes 62%. 4 points so far tonight. And by the way, 2 fouls on DJ Burns of the Wolfpack. He goes to the bench. 11:06 to go in a half. So in a little bit of trouble.
Right now, Virginia Tech, they've been getting spread out. And you have to stay on NC State's best shooters, and that's going to spread you out a little bit. But the help side has to be active, and you have to move on the flight of the ball in order to stay with NC State.
Jarkel Joiner back it up, averaging 17. Russell wants to drive it. Keeps on working. Can't finish the shot, though. He did everything but.
NC State switching a lot of exchanges, and they've been aggressive.
In for Kidd. Kidd had a great look inside. It's going to be batted out. That's going to stay on this end with 10.5 to go.
Yeah, Lynn Kidd has had 4 double-figure games this year. He had 14 points and 5 rebounds against NC State earlier this year, but he'd love to have that one back. That was an easy one.
And he makes 66% of his shots, but that one would not drop.
A nice job by Jack Clark to really stay with Couture off that staggered screen.
Kidd giving up the dribble. Shot clock at 8. Collins trying the baseline, sealed. Got it inside, a kick out. Here's Basile. Got an excellent look, but it wouldn't fall.
It was a good look, but a little bit of a rush shot. I thought Couture might take the first one.
Yes. Jumping inside, Joiner. Kidd knocks the rebound to a teammate. Here come the Hokies behind Rice.
The State's doing such a good job of putting pressure on the ball. If there is an opening to make a pass, vision is taken away.
Couture to the paint. Not there. NC State airtight D. Here's Smith. Yes, sir. Another one from way downtown.
What do you do with that? When you think you've stopped the ball, all of a sudden a 27-footer goes up and you're taking it out of the net.
Whistle here with 9:50 to go and a foul on Rice. I should say on Joiner.
I mean, that's beyond range. He's 3 steps outside the 3-point line. You know, Hunter Couture is a really good defender, but you don't think about, and you need to with Terquavion Smith, but you don't think about, man, I got to pick him up at 26 feet and make sure he doesn't pull up after we stop the ball.
So much for a shooting slump. So it'll be Rice at the line here for the Hokies. And drops in number 1. And Padula coming back on. They need someone to get a hot hand. Virginia Tech has missed 6 consecutive shots.
Well, NC State's done such a good job of staying with cutters, putting great pressure on Sean Padula and sticking with Hunter Couture off every screen, switching if necessary. And NC State, when they switch to take something away. I mean, they're looking to get a hand on the ball, and they can be really disruptive.
Now Keats calling for a play. Again, handing off. Padula out on Smith. Up he goes for 2 more. He made that look easy.
Well, you press up on him, and you're seeing Virginia Tech hedge on just about every ball screen action, but you press up on him and he's going to go by you. You give him some space, he's going to pull up and knock in a 25-footer.
Yeah, he has 15 points. Hot half for Terquavion Smith. Collins going around the back trying to get free. Gets the jumper up there, but no.
Boy, the quality of shot difference between what NC State is getting and what Virginia Tech is getting is pretty stark.
Here's Marcel. Yeah, oh yeah. And that's the biggest lead tonight. 31-16 NC State in a timeout.
Dave, some of these are 4-pointers. You're not going to have to go to replay to see if their foot was on the line. My goodness, what a shooting exhibition from deep from the NC State Wolfpack.
Subway keeps upping their game with the Subway Series, an all-star.
Green and Cuffin Studio, Colgate, Red Raiders demolish Lafayette in the championship game for the Patriot League, 3rd straight tourney logo.
Matt Langle has built a dynasty at Colgate, a fun offensive team to watch. They take care of it and shoot 41% from 3 as a team.
Oklahoma State on the bubble, first team out per Joe Lunardi, doing it right
Well, right now they're getting to the rim with Chris Harris there, but the bottom line is they've got a lot of length and speed. They already have 3 blocks in this game.
Back to OB and Jay in Greensboro.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. NC State on fire from 3, 5 out of 7 to open up a 31-16 lead. North Carolina won easily over BC tonight. They face the number 2 seed Virginia in the quarters tomorrow. Winner of this one will take on the 3 seed Clemson.
You know, NC State's shooting has been the headline and the thing we're going to talk about, but their defense has been pretty good. Justin Mutz going one-on-one in the post against Greg Gant and just went right through his chest. But you haven't seen a lot of easy shots for Virginia Tech in this first half.
Sure haven't. Different story for the Wolfpack as they're shooting from midcourt. Juana getting active here in the first half. He's had a couple of baskets, not this time.
And Terquavion Smith double team, passed right out to Casey Morsell, and they got it right inside. The ball movement has been really good for NC State.
And Smith has 15. It is an open man underneath. It's Kidd for 2.
A really good little low cross by Hunter Couture. So a little cross screen to get Lynn Kidd open. And Couture knows that if he sets a screen first, he's more likely to get open than off any action as a cutter.
Yeah, we'll swing it. Morsell. That 3 won't drop. And a little bit of momentum all of a sudden for the Hokies.
You got to get some stops in order to eat into this lead. But this is a resilient Virginia Tech team. They're tough.
Mutz up top, working on Morsell. He backs it away, right to Smith. Smith over the top for Joiner to lay it in. Great teamwork there. Padula on the other end. They're going to try it, and the stuff by Kidd.
Boy, that's the way you answer. You give up an easy one in transition due to the deflection. And NC State's got a number of deflections in this ball game. But that's the way you answer.
Yeah. Joiner sticks it. 2-pointer.
What do you do? And MJ Collins played really good defense there. That was just superior offense over good defense.
Quite a series back and forth. By the way, Hunter Couture scoreless so far. That's a major story for the Hokies, given the tournament he had last year underneath for Kidd, and that's going to be an offensive foul. That'll be a charge with 5:49 to go. The nothing but net crew will be back at 11:30 Eastern after this game to break down all 4 New York Life ACC tournament second-round games. We'll have post-game interviews plus a look ahead at Thursday's quarterfinals, all on the ACC network, and of course more on Jim Boeheim and the end of his career as the head coach of Syracuse University. A huge story here today.
I love watching nothing but net, but boy, Kelsey Riggs has a tough job. She has to say national champion Luke Hancock, national champion Joe Barry, national champion Carlos Boozer. It takes her 15 minutes for the intro to go through all the championships.
A lot of wins up there on that set. Little bump. Smith again gets hit. And he's going to shoot three. That's how hard it is to guard him right now. Look at our national champs. And
she's just looking at Kelsey's looking up what other accomplishments Luke Hancock's had. He finally wore a tie, though. Did you see them down in Miami?
I did.
Talk about casual Friday. My goodness.
Yeah.
You're professionals, gentlemen. Wear a tie.
Oh, they are a lot of fun to listen to and break down everything that's happened here at the ACC tournament. It's just nothing like this event. Smith, meanwhile, at the line shooting three, working on 15. Misses the first couple, though.
He's too close.
Yeah, got to be the problem. 71% at the line for the sophomore.
I think the mini slump is over.
I think that's a pretty good bet, the way he shot the three tonight. Makes one of the three. And it's 36-22. He has 16.
Maybe that's the answer. Just foul him every time down. He scores fewer points.
Who will catch fire for the Hokies? They need an answer to that question. Basile calling for it, but a whistle there. Bodies dropping, both of them Hokies. Basile in a little bit of pain there, and Couture is down too. Couture had hurt his elbow earlier in the season, was out for quite some time. Looks like he took a knock there. Clark with his second foul.
It's been so difficult for Virginia Tech to make passes against the NC State defense. They've wound up dribbling more than Mike Young would like.
I think it was Basile hitting his own teammate. Yeah.
And fell right over the top of him.
Checking out his own elbow. Grant Basile, 6'9" grad from Wisconsin. And so Couture shooting a 1-and-1 as they go to the monitor here. He's 75%. And they're confirming the shooter. That's the reason Clarence Armstrong is over there at the monitor. And a 36-22 advantage for NC State. They look good from Jump Street tonight. So check out the bracket again. Our New York Life ACC men's tournament bracket. One more quarterfinal ticket to punch here tonight. Clemson awaiting the winner. Virginia, North Carolina at 7 o'clock tomorrow. That'll be on ESPN. So Couture will be the shooter. And Hunter, the number 5 man all time in three-pointers made at Virginia Tech at the foul line.
He was the most valuable player of the ACC tournament last year when Virginia Tech went on that 4-day run to win the title and stamp a ticket to the NCAA tournament. He had 31 points in that final against Duke. He was just spectacular.
When you were checking out the bracket and all the seeding before things got underway in Greensboro, who were you picking to go all the way?
Well, Miami. I think Miami's probably the best team, but you never know in this tournament format. You know, it's not often that the number 1 seed, or not as often as you would think that the number 1 seed goes on and wins the tournament. And you know what, Dave, sometimes for NCAA tournament success, sometimes not winning the tournament isn't the worst thing.
Joiner too strong. And tipped out by NC State with 4:49 to go. It just had the feel of being pretty darn wide open coming in.
Yeah, nobody had really no team had established itself as being head and shoulders above the crowd. The best teams proved to be the more consistent.
Here's Smith too strong. Padula had the rebound knocked away.
What a pass.
Oh yes, and Delana knows exactly what to do with it.
It's a beautiful wraparound pass by Gant. (38-24) the Pack. So far, any handoff action, you know, the pressure's really gotten to Virginia Tech.
Yep.
And Mike Young holding his hands out saying, settle down a little bit, settle down. Off the offensive rebound, Gant takes it to the basket, draws the defense, and just wraps right around Lynn Kidd. Just a beautiful pass. Got 2 defenders to commit. And NC State is clicking on just about all cylinders in this first half.
Leading in the paint 16-10. Leading from the logo by a bunch where a lot of their shots have come from. Smith back up top for Joiner, who makes 36% beyond that line. He'll fire up another one. Yes, sir.
He's just measuring it. Just give it a little shake, step back. His step back move is so good. But you can just see him measuring that shot. And Kevin Keith's telling Casey Morsell, get up and impact the ball.
Basile going strong, banks it in.
That was a strong move by Grant Basile. I don't know that any big guys played better over the last 10-12 games.
ACC honorable mention for the 6'9" Basile. 5 points tonight, fairly quiet. Joiner, shot clock at 7. Here he is again. Round and out. It comes free to Padula. Hokies trying to cut in. He'll drive it and blocked by Joiner. Man, did he sprint to the other end. Smith with a triple. Yes. Wow.
This is like a video game.
How do you guard this backcourt for NC State? Good luck to you. Couture has been silenced tonight. And the Wolfpack threatening to run away with this thing in the first half. Joiner on Padula. Morsell off the fake. A step back, and before the shot, he drew the foul on Couture. NC State rolling here to a 44-26 advantage. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business.
All right, everybody, it's too
Tough coming at halftime. Jim Boeheim no longer the head coach at Syracuse after 47 years. We'll hear from the Hall of Famer what he had to say after the game. Also, bubble teams in action will have those highlights. To quote Jay Billis, Joiner and Smith are legit.
Well, they are, and obviously the pressure is great from NC State. But Virginia Tech's been in the bonus for a while. Like, slow the game down, get the thing inside, get free throws, stem the tide that way a little bit.
I don't know if there's any slowing Terquavion Smith down. Dave, make sure Billis picks up the check. It would be a first.
I pick up checks. I just hand them to Dave.
I'm grateful to pay. And this guy's made a difference here. Joiner, the 6'11" junior, has come on and scored 8 points.
Well, he's been active on both ends of the floor, but after he sets a screen, he rolls hard to the basket and posts up. And you know, NC State, anytime there's 2 men on the ball, they pass out of it right away. So they've been moving the ball from side to side. And Smith and Joiner, they've got 31 points combined. I mean, those two are outscoring Virginia Tech by themselves.
Basile downstairs. Joiner coming out of nowhere again to block the shot. Look at Joiner. He's a rocket down the lane. Joiner will scoop and lay it in. What a half.
The speed of NC State. They are getting the ball down court so quickly, and they put a ton of pressure on Virginia Tech's transition defense. But you hesitate for a second, as Basile did going up for that shot, and Joiner knocks it away.
Boy, Couture just can't buy one in and out on that long-range shot. 49-26, under 90 seconds to go in the half. Wolfpack just rocking and rolling. Joiner couldn't handle that one, and out it goes, but they haven't made many mistakes.
Just a great recovery by Joiner, coming all the way from the top of the key, and as soon as he blocks it, it is just a one-man fast break. But Joiner Carolina did not quit on the play. Got all the way back after blocking that shot and then got the stick back.
Couture for Mutz, a dribble down, knocked away, and a whistle with 1:05 left in the half.
Even on that dive to the basket by Justin Mutz, Greg Gant was right there. Now, this has been an active help side defense. They're moving as the ball moves, and the pressure on the ball has been excellent. There's been a number of deflections, steals. Everything's challenged.
Gant with a personal, Mutz to the line. So at 1:04 left in the half, NC State with a basketball and pressing 50 points here. Now their offense has been high octane all season long, averaging 78 points a game. This is another level above that tonight.
No question. I mean, this has to be, if not the highest scoring first half in ACC play. It's challenging for it.
Joiner on the pull-up pop. The follow up and in, and they are relentless on that glass. That was Gant making it a 10-0 run.
Jarkel Joiner so good at snaking off those ball screens. He can split defenders, pull up. Boy, the job's not done once the shot goes up. I mean, maybe there wasn't defensive rebound because everything's been going in. What a pass.
Whipped ahead, and Joiner with the finish. Wow. Man down on the other end. That's Gant. Greg Gant for the Wolfpack in some pain with 18.1 seconds before the break. And the trainer's out to attend to Greg, 6'8" junior. He's out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And the play continued on without him. And a lightning strike for the Wolfpack to lead it 53-26. And we'll look for the replay.
Looks like
exactly what happened.
Looked like his knee got twisted up here. Yeah, got stepped on by Justin Mutz, and that is an awkward angle. That right leg just inadvertently stepped right on his right foot. It's nice that people can get along, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Awfully sweet. And a nice hand for Greg here in the building, but hobbling off.
Well, it's good to see him just walking under his own power. That was not an attractive happening.
So Ernest Ross, 6'9" sophomore, in for Gant. He's going to make his way toward the tunnel and the locker room here just before halftime. (53-26) NC State rocking and rolling here in the first 20. Can the Hokies recover? Padula, no. And that's it for the half. Biggest halftime deficit of the season for the Hokies. NC State certainly earned that. 53-26 at the break.
NC State was good in every area of play. Better than good. Firepower we saw from NC State was how well they played on the defensive end. And you know, NC State, you take a look at that shot chart, those O's might be a little too close than the actual shots. I mean, they were 63% in that first half, 7 of 13 from 3, and Joiner and Smith combined for 33 points in that first half. Just a fantastic half.
Burns was in foul trouble in the first half. He's going to draw a foul here. Let's go to Holly.
Virginia Tech coach Mike Young said, you know, I've been a lot better than this half. He's always such a good-natured man, but he said we're just not getting to them. Their ball screen coverage is excellent right now, and those are big league guards. We're just not connected enough defensively, and we're not making it difficult. It is essential we get to them better. Don't give them so much space. And he said, I promise we're going to do a better job here in the second half.
Well, one of those big league guards hits again. Smith had a terrific game. NC State closed the half on a 17-2 run. They got serious.
And, you know, you're hitting floaters, runners, threes, step backs, you name it. And then Ebenezer Dwana as the first half was fantastic. I love saying Ebenezer.
Oh, me too.
I mean, he had a career high 11 points. He blocked a couple shots, and because of his play, Virginia Tech was Scrooged. Get it?
Nicely done.
I think so too.
It's fun to say, not just at Christmas time. 55-28. It'll be Basile at the line.
Drew 2 defenders. Anytime you help up, which Jack Clark did there, you're going to have an opening. But that's been few and far between in this game for Virginia Tech. It's been so difficult against NC State's defense to get any openings. And in that first half, Sean Padula and Hunter Couture combined for 1 of 11 from the field.
Joiner shredding the D with that hand. Left hand can't get it to roll in. Couture with only 2 points. Miss and a dunk by Mutz on the nice follow. He has 8.
And I like Hunter Couture letting that fly in transition. You can get a better shot against NC State early than you can trying to grind it out, because their defense has been excellent. Their help side and switches have been timely.
Morcell thinking about it. Shot clock down to 6. And Couture with a rebound. And the Hokies are a quality opponent. They've won 19 games. Mutz will line up a long one. Not there for him. But the Wolfpack in the first half at times were just playing with them. There's Smith tiptoeing through, and he converts.
How many steps does he get? I mean, there's no way you can guard him if he gets 3 steps.
He has 23. 9 out of 11 shooting. Basile trying to get position behind Burns. He did, and he'll lay it in.
Boy, what a pass. Casey Morcell was switched off onto Grant Basile. He just fronted him, and you just, when you're smaller, you just front and fight, and that's exactly what he did. What a move.
Oh, and what a shot too by the big guy. Burns light on those feet.
He doesn't look like he should be able to do that, but you watch it on film, you watch him in person, his feet are fantastic.
Swished in, and a 3-point answer by Padula. Been pretty quiet in this one with 6 points.
And NC State just giving Virginia Tech a little more space in the second half than they did in the first.
Joiner loses the dribble. Burns on Basile.
Mutz is coming. Good pass.
Clark will drive it and back in 2.
Boy, that's how to play out of a double team. That little hook pass to Morcell gets it into the corner, and the shot fake and drive from Jack Clark. That was really pretty.
His first basket. Mutz inside, but the Hokies right now are just trading baskets.
They are, and it's awfully difficult to win that way, but at least offensively, what Virginia Tech is doing is getting the ball down court quickly and trying to strike early.
Now they need some stops. Easier said than done. And bodying up is Basile, trying to chase down Smith. He'll commit the personal, his 3rd.
DJ Burns is a lefty and catches it on the left side of the floor, makes a move, just a spin, little drop step to the basket. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's hard to guard.
16:20 to go.
I can stay with them for 3 steps, not 4.
Clark to the paint, scoops it in. That's a pretty play.
Jack Clark transferred in from LaSalle. Double-digit scorer there. He's a good rebounder, versatile, skilled, and he's another guy that gets deflections out there.
Yeah, he's long. Collins zips it here to Basile. Trying to inch a little bit closer. Collins, some quick dribbling, can't convert it though.
Nice job by Morcell to get late pressure on that shot.
Joiner to push it.
How quickly does he get it up the floor?
Thinking the same thing. They are lightning fast. You have to get back on the Wolfpack or you're dead. Burns muscling his way, threw it away. Collins with the pick. Leading the charge here for Couture. Couture going in strong in the bank.
Well, that was a strong move. Tour gives that little shot fake. And it's not a violent fake, but it's so effective because his credibility as a shooter is so good.
Clark lines it up, and it rattles in from three-point land.
Boy, what do you do? I mean, you stay with Joiner, put 2 on the ball, and then Jack Clark just little pick and pop and drills a 3 on you.
Then the story of the night, Wolfpack hitting from way downtown over and over and over again. And just thrown away by Padula. There was nobody home. They've turned it over 8 times in this one. 66-40. All Wolfpack so far tonight.
Up next, Deli Witch from Hot Pocket.
Women's Day, and how better to celebrate than showcasing the best women in the ACC, winning the ACC tournament for the first time in school history. And of course, we are here with those incredible women, the ACC Player of the Year, Liz Kitley, and her bad you-know-what guard, Georgia. I almost just swore on national TV. Sorry about that. You guys have been so great for so long, 2-time ACC Player of the Year. How have you been able to really elevate your game?
I will attribute that to my coach, Coach Kenny Brooks. He spent a lot of time and effort into me to make me better, and probably hundreds of individuals over the last few years, so I will attribute it to that.
You guys have time off. Selection Sunday is coming up. Where are you excited to go, and what are you hoping to accomplish, Georgia?
At this point, I'm ready to play anywhere and against anyone. I love March. It's my favorite time of the year, so I'm just ready to see where we go, who we have on Sunday.
You guys are here trying to encourage the men. What do you think right now about the game?
The defense is going to need to step up a little bit. 66 points with 15 minutes left is crazy, but NC State's offense has been really good, so credit to them.
All right, well, thank you so much. International Day of the Women, and I could not have picked 2 more incredible women to be celebrating with. Thank you both so much.
Love that response, too. You know, when you're asked, where do you want to go, where do you want to play in the tournament? I'll go anywhere. I'll play anybody.
Anytime.
Anytime.
And Liz Kitley, the 2-time ACC Player of the Year. This is kind of depressing, but I played against her dad.
Did you really?
Ralph Kitley played at Wake Forest. I actually was one of the hosts of Ralph Kitley when he visited Duke, and after a weekend with me, he decided anywhere but here. So he went to Wake Forest.
Padula with a foul a moment ago. Clark taking the baseline on another nifty move. You give him 9.
It's just so difficult to guard NC State because the floor is so spread. And that opens up driving lanes, and Jack Clark taking advantage of it in the second half.
Mutz to the paint, and 1. They need a lot more of that. Justin Mutz, a 6'7" senior from New Jersey, with the basket. And he's got a dozen. Well, Greg Gant got injured earlier, and here he is on crutches.
Now, that is not good to see. Greg Gant got his first start of the year against Duke back in January. And he is an important piece of this NC State puzzle with his ability to guard and rebound.
Yeah, good passer, too. 68-45, the Pack. Dominating effort so far here tonight. Much like North Carolina against Boston College. Morcell from the corner, short. The three-pointer's been a huge part of the attack. They are 8 out of 16. Mutz went all the way in for 2.
NC State just not stopping the ball first 7 minutes of the second half, but they've got such a big lead.
Now 4 different NC State shooters have hit a three-pointer tonight. So to your point, who do you guard? Joiner, and they get it to go.
Trying to jump in front of the roller, tag Joiner as he rolls to the basket, and that opened up a offensive rebound lane for Casey Morcell. And to give NC State credit, like they don't quit on any play.
Mutz around the back, gets kicked right to Kidd into the paint. Literally kicked.
How many deflections has NC State had tonight? They always have a goal of 40. And Kevin Keats is a Rick Pitino guy, and that was a big stat for Rick Pitino, is getting deflections. Shows how active your defense is, and if you chart it, you can coach it.
You and I were chatting before the game as Couture gets to about the difference from when you played in this tournament at Duke years ago and players today playing 3 or 4 consecutive days. I mean, players today have the ability, because the training methods, medicine, everything have come so far. That's going to go the other way, that players feel so much fresher than 20, 30 years ago.
Well, the technology with rest and recovery, and all the players wear monitors of all their vitals, so they know exactly what to get them as far as their hydration. Nutrition is so much better. I mean, back in the day, they gave us a slice of pizza and said, get some rest. I mean, it's so different now. But these players have to do more too. I mean, they're for a big guy now, back in the 80s, and before, you had to, as a big guy, you had to wrestle your guy for position at the free throw line on down. These guys are guarding 3-4 ball screens of possession. It's amazing, the activity level.
Yeah, that recovery begins the moment they leave the floor.
Mine begins in the bar.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. And 70-49, the Wolfpack impressive here this evening in Greensboro. 11:49.
Jarkel Joiner trying to get the ball, being guarded by Sean Padula. He has been spectacular in this game. Not only his scoring, but he's got 9 assists, not a single turnover.
Wolfpack only turns it over about 10 times a game anyway. Very stingy. Joiner looking to make a move here on Padula. Shot clock to 10. Swing it up here for Smith. He cashes in. He's done that all night.
Just a great play by Joiner to get into the lane, and then that extra pass, which was the right pass, got a wide open look for Terquavion Smith. It's been a clinic offensively for NC State.
He is 26. Padula with an answer here. As he drops in a triple. 9 points for Sean tonight.
You have to chase him off of those screens. You can't go underneath, because he'll just stop and pop.
Now, games like tonight, just a reminder of how amazing the Hokies run was last year in this tournament. Felt like it came out of nowhere. On the drive, the scoop shot by Joiner.
And that was a 30-foot drive by Jarkel Joiner. Yeah, but that run last year, I mean, you have Keve Aluma, who started out at Wofford, where Mike Young was the coach, had some great teams with Fletcher McGee, and then one of the great names in college basketball, Storm Murphy.
Yes.
That is a future meteorologist, Storm Murphy.
If ever I heard.
Coming up next, the weather with Storm Murphy.
It's kind of name other meteorologists change their name too. 23-13 last year, won the ACC tournament title for the first time. A scintillating run, buzzer beaters, last second shots, great performances. Those don't come around very often though. Padula on Joiner, he just got too far underneath. And up ahead, swatted away by much, but they're going to convert that. Smith, Johnny on the spot, is 28.
Well, another play where NC State didn't give up on the play. Terquavion Smith did not just assume that that bucket was going to be made.
Mutz with a short one, left it short.
Who was the meteorologist you grew up with? You remember?
Bruce Schwegler.
Schwegler is not a. See, I grew up with Johnny Mountain, and then I live in Charlotte now, where Larry Sprinkle is the guy.
Now, he changed that to Sprinkle.
No way.
Sure he did.
There's a long line of sprinkles that were great on the weather.
Joiner shredded everybody. And a whistle here in the paint. That was with 5 on the shot clock. And back to, as you say, not giving up.
Well, again, the speed of Jarkel Joiner had choices here, but Terquavion Smith just kept going right down the middle of the court. Just ran the pipe. I can't believe you think Larry Sprinkle changed his name. He's not an entertainer. He's a professional.
I can't believe you didn't blink when I said Schwegler.
Schwegler. He changed his name.
Just to make it easy for everyone to pronounce.
He probably came from the Sprinkle family and just couldn't take it.
I think you're probably right. There's a long line of Sprinkles. Joiner at 85% at the foul line, one of the best foul shooters in the conference.
As far as you know, the Sprinkle family, they were in the donut business, and Larry just broke away.
No future in it. Joiner to the bench. And pressure here from NC State, leading 79-52. Huge first half for the Wolfpack, and they've kept on keeping on. Couture can't bury it. Rebound tipped out. Stay on this end. Well, the huge news coming out of Greensboro today was at the end of the Syracuse loss to Wake Forest. Jim Boeheim gave a fascinating couple of answers that were hard to decipher during the press conference, whether or not he had retired. He said he had actually. As Couture drills that, he said, I had actually given my going away speech, my retirement speech, but everybody missed it. And then about an hour and a half after that, the university announced that was the end for Jim Boeheim.
It had to be a little cryptic as a retirement speech if everybody missed it.
Right. Yeah, how did everybody get that wrong?
But one of the great coaches in the history of sport, not just the history of basketball. Man with over 1,000 wins. It's actually over 1,100.
Yes.
They need to give him that 100 and some back.
I would agree with that. Yeah. But national championship, of course, and incredible success in a place where that was never a given. I mean, to attract the caliber of players over the years and the teams that he did to play at Syracuse. And I'm a Syracuse guy, and I can tell you what it's like in the wintertime there. To have those guys come year after year to Jim recruit the way he did and make them the teams they were, I thought that was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And already a member for the last couple of decades in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and he's in a number of halls of fame. Just an amazing career.
But it is over at Syracuse. Thought we might never hear that. Shot clock down to 5 and knocked in again. Pass this time from the wing. And everybody in on the act for the Wolfpack tonight.
Breon Pass he was a high school football player, but can use either hand around the basket. Good defender. And NC State's depth is impressive. They can keep fresh bodies out there. They played Joiner and Smith a lot, but Kevin Keats can go to that bench and keep some fresh bodies coming at you throughout the 40 minutes.
NC State picked to finish 10th in the preseason ACC poll. They have proven to be a whole lot better than that.
Just the improvement from last year to this, and Terquavion Smith, and then adding in what a great pickup Jarkel Joiner was from Ole Miss.
Bazili lets fly, not there for him. Nice spin move by Ross, but gives it right back. The long one swished in by Rodney Rice.
Rodney Rice is a good talent. He's going to be a really good player out of DeMatha High School. Had an injury this year. His first game back was against Syracuse. And sometimes that's not the most fun to have to be thrown into it against that Syracuse zone.
Pass from the corner, got another one and another triple. They have been raining three-pointers in the Coliseum tonight.
And they have come from everywhere. There's not a spot on the floor where NC State hasn't drilled a three.
And the answer by Rice, but 10 out of 19 for the Wolfpack from three-point distance.
Rodney Rice is a bucket getter. He had a clutch three late against Notre Dame. That was a huge shot.
Whistle stops the clock. Foul with 6:45 remaining. NC State actually 11 out of 20.
Son
Rates of NC State. It's hard to believe it's been 40 years since they won that national championship. But Thurl Bailey, one of the leading scorers on that team, told us he sees some real similarities about what's going on now at NC State.
Has the potential to do some great things. And we got a chance to talk to those guys a little bit about what it takes. First of all, they got to be tight-knit. They got to believe in themselves. All the tough things they went through has gotten them to the point they are right now. So just the ability to go out and fight and leave it all out on the floor to put you in a great position to win, as Coach B used to say.
NC State brought all of the living members of that organization back. It's 40-year anniversary. They were back on campus 2 weeks ago, and they did get to talk to this team and share their experiences, share what it took. And Thurl Bailey said he's been very impressed by what he's seen there. Really likes the coach, really likes this young team, and makes me feel old that was 40 years. But very special that we get to memorialize it. So
yeah, you're not alone on that one, Holly. Hard to believe. I mean, I look at David Thompson and think, I used to have a David Thompson poster on my wall when I was a kid. One of my all-time favorite players. I had him up there. I had Marcus Johnson on there.
Yeah, that old Adidas poster of Marcus Johnson. And David Thompson wasn't just one of the greats in NC State history. He may be the greatest player ever in the ACC. I mean, the Skywalker was something else. And sadly, because of the rule that the NCAA put in when Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, went to UCLA, they put in that no dunk rule. Can you imagine the highlight? I mean, David Thompson put up highlights anyway.
Right.
But could you imagine what he would have done if he could dunk the ball in college? What a huge mistake that was by the NCAA. But Thurl Bailey was a great player. He was a senior when I was a freshman, and I had to guard him a few times, and it was not pleasant. He is not only a great player, but one of the nicest human beings you've ever met in your life.
Interesting. You can watch a clip like that. You can tell that. If you've never met him, well, our Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Championship bracket. And the Big 12, roundly considered the best league in all of college basketball, led by #1 Kansas. They've got West Virginia tomorrow, 3 o'clock on ESPN.
Well, West Virginia has played really well, especially of late. And it's a team that actually, usually they're known for their defense and rebounding. They're actually better offensively this year than defensively. And Eric Stevenson's been fantastic.
And Joe Lunardi, these are the seeds he has coming out of the Big 12, and he's got Oklahoma State as a first 4 outs.
Kansas can lose their first game and get shut out, and they're still a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They've won so many quality games. But that's a league that just has no bottom. It's amazing just how good that league is, top to bottom.
It's foul number 4 on DJ Burns. And we'll put Poteet to the line. The Rice transfer.
Now that 83 NC State team, the champions that Holly was talking about, you know, that reunion they had, Terry Gannon was back, and Derek Wittenberg, Sidney Lowe, Ernie Myers, Cozell McQueen. And I think Terry Gannon's still upset that when Derek Wittenberg put up that shot that Lorenzo Charles dunked in to win the championship, he was wide open on the right wing. And Wittenberg didn't even look his direction.
Didn't even look at him. I think still calls it a pass.
Well, I was with Justin Gainey recently. He's on Rick Barnes' staff. And Justin Gainey's son's a really good player, by the way. But Justin was talking about, you know, being on the list of the all-time great NC State point guards, and we were talking about him. And I was thinking, okay, Derek Wittenberg would be upset if he wasn't on this list, even though he's a 2-guard. And then I thought, well, Derek Wittenberg would say he was the best center NC State's ever had. He's the best power forward NC State's ever had. The best small forward.
Right. Turn around and a shot by Joiner. And they just keep on coming. He's got 20. He and Smith have been putting on a show. Joiner as much passing the basketball tonight as anyone.
Jarkel Joiner's been magnificent all game long.
That's going to be an and one. Poteet slow to get up, but made the basket. Obviously, on the dunk, he'll be at the line. Smith, by the way, with 30 points.
Now, look, Gannon's wide open. Didn't even look at him. Wide open. It worked out pretty well. And Wittenberg still insists that was a pass, and he's petitioned the NCAA to give him an assist on that play, even though it was an offensive rebound.
You know, you see the celebration and Jimmy V racing around, looking for someone to hug and all that. Don't forget what a monumental upset that was. A staggering upset.
I don't think anybody outside of the NC State family thought that the Wolfpack was going to win that game. I mean, they're going against Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Young, Larry Michaud. I mean, they were unbelievably good.
Sure were.
Benny Anders. That semifinal game between Houston and Louisville. You know, Louisville back then, they were called the Doctors of Dunk, coached by Denny Crum. I mean, there must have been 20 dunks in that game.
Why do we love sports? Why do we love basketball? It's games like that. Pass straight on. Cannot hit that one. But a whistle with 4:54 to go. And these Wolfpack fans in attendance in Greensboro, they just want to celebrate tonight. It's a late evening as it is. Playing their way on into the quarterfinals. DeWanna picks up foul number 3. And to the other end, it'll be Basile to shoot, where he makes 70%. He's been playing exceptionally well here over the last month and a half for Mike Young. Casey Morsell about to come back to the floor for Kevin Keats. Now, at one point late in the season, for the first time since 1982, NC State was ranked in the top 25, and both North Carolina and Duke were not. It was the first time NC State had been in the AP poll since January of 2019. Not in the top 25 at this point. Here's Smith. 30-point game for him. Clark steps back.
Well, when NC State plays with the kind of defensive intensity they played with in the first half, this team is going to be really hard to beat for anybody.
Rice with an air ball. And 4:22 showing.
You think about Virginia Tech, and this team was 11-1 before Hunter Couture got injured with that. I think it was a lower arm, elbow, whatever it was. But when he went out, that sort of stopped the momentum of this team. Then Grant Basile really came on. But you think about what might have been had Couture been healthy all year long.
And he is able to return as Clark misfires, but a whistle on this. With a COVID year, he has not said if he's going to take that or not and come back to Blacksburg.
I remember when Mike Young first got the job coming from Wofford to Virginia Tech. They were playing in the Maui Invitational, and I had not seen Hunter Couture play, and he had recruited him at Wofford. And I said, what do you think of Couture? And he said he can play anywhere. And he's come so far as a defender. He's an excellent defender. And, Mike likes to joke that when he first got to Virginia Tech, he couldn't guard Mike Young. I think he could have, but that was probably a little bit of an overstatement. But he's a really good defender, one of the smartest players in the college game.
Over 1,000 career points. I was there on senior day in Blacksburg, and he was honored. His mom and dad had a great video talking about many of the things you just discussed. But we'll see if that video proves to be true in the end, that he in fact is going to hang it up as a college player or return. Padula going around the back and gave it away. Joiner on the feed for Clark, and he'll stuff it home.
A double-digit assist for Jarkel Joiner. He has done everything in this game.
20 points, 10 assists for him. Under 3, Rice can't hit. Poteet will send it back out. He'll try it again, and he hit that one.
Shot both those from the exact same spot.
But too little, too late. Although he has 11, 2.5 to play.
NC State intelligently going to use every second of the clock before they get into something.
Joiner kicks it out. Interrupted by Rice, so it'll be NC State ball. Wolfpack had dropped 4 out of 7 coming into Greensboro, but looking great tonight. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Over 12,000 agents there to help guide you through life's happiest and most difficult times.
Jalen Cone, Northern Arizona, looking to take down top-seeded Montana State in the Big Sky title game.
Northern Arizona, only 7 Division I regular season wins and only 40 minutes away from an NCAA berth.
Tell you what, guys, I did not envision looking up as Larry Sprinkle real when I started my day today. Back to you.
Is Larry Sprinkle real? Well, just ask Jay Billis. Real as rain. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
You could always go back to L.A. Dallas Rains can give you the weather in addition to Johnny Mountain.
And that's for real. Here's Purcell around and out with a triple. Well, Dewan has played a terrific game. Come on, out of nowhere tonight, the 6'11" junior. Under 2 minutes to play. Thomas Jr. rattles it in.
Yeah, that's a nice move. Under control, gave a little shot fake, got the defender off the floor.
Smith and Joiner for the Wolfpack have combined for 50 points, 15 rebounds, 13 assists, and 1 turnover.
Really a fabulous performance by the NC State guards. Really everybody for NC State contributed, but in the first half, as impressive as the shot making, and that was impressive. I mean, it's like a video game. The defensive effort was what I thought started everything. There was such intensity on the defensive level, or on the defensive end, and Virginia Tech couldn't run anything in the first half.
No, they were suffocated. We're selling company about to celebrate this one. Their fans are already getting into it. The shot clock will expire here. With 1:19 to go. And so it is on to the quarterfinals. That field is set. The quarterfinals will get underway at noon tomorrow. Day games at noon and 2:30. And the night games at 7 and 9:30.
And I think with one exception, maybe it was the 8-9 game, all the top seeds have held, haven't they?
That is correct. One thing that will be interesting for the Wolfpack, a little bit worrisome, is Greg Gant.
That's the downer of this, to have such a great performance, and then, you know, Greg Gant was leaving on crutches, and you certainly hope it's nothing season ending.
Ross kind of tiptoeing his way to drop into. And up to 95 points for the Wolfpack. Under a minute to go. So winding up with a couple of blowouts here in the night sessions. That one rattles home. Ross on target, Rice on target, and that's 17 for him.
But he's got a lot of offensive game. He's going to be a really good player. He's good now, but he's going to be really good.
Pass with a step back, around and out, and stuffed in. Ernest Ross with a highlight at the very end of the game. 6'9" sophomore getting up there. Poteet, he'll draw the foul with about 25 seconds to go.
Late in the game, there's a nice little step back, and nobody lays a body on Ernest Ross, and above the rim finish for the sophomore from Florida.
Coach Keats going strong to his bench now in the last seconds. NC State, from the opening tip, really controlled this game in impressive fashion. Kind of shot the lights out for most of it. And got a great performance from their backcourt, not for the first time certainly this season.
It won't be the last. Those guys can light it up. Now KJ Keats, the 5'10" freshman son of head coach Kevin Keats, is into the ball game.
Wolfpack had a 27-point lead at halftime. And it already set that pace to score 100 points at 97 here.
And I know they're supposed to dribble out the clock, but when everybody gets into the game, you'd rather see them just play, man.
I'm with you. Let him roll.
Let him play.
Take a 25-footer.
Let him work all this time to dribble out the clock.
And that's how it's going to end. 97-77. Didn't feel that close, actually. NC State rocking and rolling here tonight, Greensboro.
Impressive from tap to buzzer by NC State. Dominant on both ends of the floor.
So Clemson is next. The number 3 seed. North Carolina, big win earlier as well against Boston College.